Hello, Global Honors Remote. Mr. Normal here, and we just can't seem to get on the same page. I am not in school today um, on Monday, February 8th, and I know we missed class last week, which was, as I emailed out to you, my fault. I messed up the Wi-Fi, and it was a whole thing. But we can get through this. So tomorrow when you log in at 1 o'clock, you're going to take the imperialism exam. In terms of what you missed because of my mess up, I can catch you up on that right now. You've all watched the video on Matthew Perry in Japan. I see that in Head Puzzle. So we're going to kind of change things up a little bit. And I see two of you have done the assignment on filling in your notes. It's called Template Chapter 4. Two of you have already done that, so we will make that the assignment for today. Again, that's Monday the 8th. And let me just reinforce page 14 of your notes to let you know what you have to know for tomorrow. So what you need to know is Japan is a little bit different than the other Asian countries that we've studied, but it started out being pretty similar. Like China, like India, at first, Japan got bullied. Imperializers came, in this case the United States, and said, we are interested in your raw materials. This, as you learned from your video, was Commodore Matthew Perry. And he realized that Japan offered an ideal location to refuel American ships, and it had raw materials, especially whale oil, which was the oil of choice before they started pumping this stuff out of the ground. So in the video, you see all about how Matthew Perry came in. He threatened the Japanese with his modern weapons and his giant ships, and basically forced the Japanese into signing the Treaty of Kanagawa. So this makes Japan, who had been isolated for 200 years, open up their ports to U.S. trade, which was against their will, but they really felt they didn't have any choice. The United States was far more technologically advanced because they were industrial. And this is the same thing that happened in China, the same thing that happened in India. So all of these places fall under kind of the same umbrella. Now, where Japan is different. The Emperor Meiji realized that if Japan was ever going to not be bullied, they would have to become industrial. Being industrial is the key to having power. So the Japanese said, well, we are going to send representatives around the world. We're going to learn and we're going to industrialize the country so we won't wind up like China and Japan. One trick I always tell my students when you see Meiji, think Meiji stands for Make Everything in Japan Industrial. MEIJI. That is not what it stands for, but it still works pretty well. Okay, so in social studies, we want evidence for everything. What is our evidence that Japan did a good job in industrializing? Well, in 1904, Japan took on Russia and defeated them in the Russo-Japanese War. So here's this tiny country of Japan, and they're taking on this great big country of Russia, and they're defeating them. So the Japanese had gone in just a few short years from being an agricultural economy who couldn't stand up to anybody, and now they're taking on the largest country in the world, and they're winning. So in this part of your assignment, you should have said something like, well, Russia was so big, and they lost to a little teeny tiny country like Japan. So for tomorrow, if you know that Meiji Japan is the modernization of Japan, and that the Japanese did very good once they stopped being isolated. They were very good at cultural diffusion. They went out into the world and they were able to take, excuse me, they were able to take bits and pieces from around the world and modernize the country. As always, if you have any questions, please email me, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Even if I have to go to your houses personally, I won't let an internet issue stop me this time.